Fragrances are in everything these days. You turn around your skincare, you see them on the labels, they're in our laundry detergents, in the air, and of course in perfumes. But there is a reason that manufacturers and cosmetic companies put perfumes and fragrances in their products that they don't want you to know about. They're kind of acting as secret agents or little weapons because they serve multiple purposes that they don't have to disclose on the bottle. And today, I want to talk about those things, how they are helpful, how they are harmful, and why even when consumers want fragrance-free, we still see so many of them in products. So let's start by defining a fragrance, and even more so looking at perfume. I believe that the first perfume was created thousands of years ago in Mesopotamia by a woman, actually. And over history, they've been used in so many different ways, from the Egyptians using them in rituals and to ward off evil spirits or welcome in new ones. And even in like the medieval times, people would spray perfumes and fragrances on themselves to hide the scent of bodily decay or of infection or disease. Pretty sneaky, right? And if you've been into a department store anytime within the last 100 years, you are sold tons of perfumes, as a luxury product, saying that it completes you as a woman. It's like, I'm sorry, I was complete with my chromosomes. Thank you very much, marketing industries. But fragrances really are sold like that in perfumes, but we also see them in products, making products smell better or making our laundry smell cleaner because the house isn't clean unless you've Febrezed it, right? They actually did a marketing and business study where the reason that people sprayed Febreze was for the smell, and they did not feel the house was clean unless they Febrezed it. Isn't that crazy? And that's when Febreze went from being a company that was about to be cut and canceled to a company that became a multi-million-dollar business. Anyways, I digress. When it comes to fragrances in our products, these are sneaky because they have extra features that companies don't want you to know about. And consumers, rightfully so, have been saying, we don't want fragrances in our products. We don't always need them. Please take them out. And a lot of companies have been reluctant to do so. And the reason why is because they are carrier molecules and stabilizers. And we're going to talk about what that means. But first, let's talk about why people don't like fragrances. Are they safe? Are they toxic? Fragrances used to be made from nature. You have to remember that medicine originally came from nature. Aspirin, the painkiller that you take, it's actually from salicylic acid, which comes from the willow bark tree, right? And now we can make salicylic acid in the lab, and it is exactly the same. There is no harm in doing that. But just the way we can do that with salicylic acid and medications, people have also been recreating nature in laboratories. Now, that's not a bad thing. Chemicals aren't always dangerous, unless companies put toxins in them and don't disclose that, which unfortunately is what tends to happen. Now, this is where it kind of gets interesting because companies don't technically have to say what they're putting into those fragrances. And again, not all fragrances are bad. Some of them are essential oils. Some of them are chemicals, but people react to them differently. Specifically, they can cause skin itching, rashes, irritation, dermatitis potentially, or they can set off dermatitis or even rosacea, I believe. But for others, people have sneezing fits. I myself stopped using perfumes 3 years ago because I found that I would sneeze. And it's like, no shit, Sherlock, maybe you're insensitive or maybe you're allergic. I would just keep using them. And when I cut out perfumes, my acne actually started to get better and I started to sleep better because I wasn't waking up and sneezing all the time. Dumbass here used to spray her pillow before bed. Bad. Anyways, again, I digress. Essential oils as well, they can be very potent. Remember that herbs and supplements can be very potent, which means they could harm you or they could hurt you. They might not be regulated by the FDA and the government the same way that prescription medications are, but these are still powerful things. So, fragrance on a label could be cosmetic manufactured, or it could be something natural. But again, we don't know. And the problem is that when so many things are mixed in together and when impurities get in, these can be toxic. There have been toxicity reports of linking fragrances to cancer, specifically when inhaled, into issues such as neurotoxicity, which is toxic to the nerves and the function of your brain. Again, with the asthma, so many different things that can happen. So consumers say we don't want this. Why do companies still put them in? It's where it gets fascinating. You turn over your label and you might see fragrance on there. They don't have to tell you how much is in there or what's in that blend. So again, is it natural? Is it chemical? Is it harmful? Is it safe? We don't know. But they are also not telling you what that fragrance is used for. Sometimes fragrances can be used as carrier molecules. What is a carrier molecule? It's a molecule that makes other things penetrate deeper. Imagine somebody literally carrying you or pulling another molecule behind you. A carrier molecule can help other products get deeper into the skin and therefore make a product more effective. And because companies don't have to disclose what's in their fragrance blend because it's a trade secret that is unique to them, they can also include ingredients in there that might have an impact on the skin, such as tea tree oil. We know it's beneficial for acne as proven by science. They could put that in and just call it fragrance and not tell you, and it could be having acne improving benefits. Or somebody could put fragrance in for another reason. It could be tainted, with some of these neurotoxic ingredients, or it could be totally safe. But these fragrances are performing functions that the cosmetic manufacturer doesn't want you to know about. Even L'Oreal, I believe that they have a patent on a carrier molecule, which is listed on the label as a fragrance, but what it really does is get other things to penetrate deeper. Is that safe? Who knows? But L'Oreal has a patent on it. And then the other reason that fragrances are included is because sometimes they are actually used as preservatives. A lot of people want preservative-free. Parabens have had a really bad rap. In some cases, they've been found in the blood. Some people think they might cause cancer or might be related to cancer, specifically breast cancer, or live inside the tissues. Cancer, can I speak? No, I can't. Cancer. And found in certain bodily tissues and in blood. But there are new reports saying that parabens might not be dangerous. Who knows, right? Consumers said, we don't want parabens. So companies said, fine, no parabens. But you know what they did instead? They would put fragrances in because especially if a fragrance is an alcohol, that alcohol actually acts as a preservative. It's antibacterial, it's antifungal, antimicrobial, so that things don't grow in that product. Now, fragrances don't always have to be alcohols. They could be biology-based hydrocarbons. They could be a ton of different things. But the fact that companies put those in there and don't disclose, we're using this as a carrier molecule or a penetrator, or we're using this as, a preservative, is kind of sneaky. And that's why as consumers, when we say we don't want this in there, they don't tell you. Also, there are different molecules in different sizes. When you spray a perfume specifically, it has notes, high notes, low notes. What the hell is all that? The ones that come off first versus the ones that come off a couple hours later. The reason that they have different rates is because of evaporation. Just the way of water evaporates off the ocean or out of a cup if you spill it. These fragrances evaporate off of our skin or out of our products. That's why we're able to smell them, because the molecule is volatile. But the lighter weight molecules evaporate more quickly, so we smell those first. And the heavier molecules have more of a molecular attraction. They like each other. So they want to hold on, they don't want to break up. And those are the notes that you smell later on that last a little bit longer. And this happens in the fragrances that we spray and occasionally in our products as well. So is it dangerous? Is it safe? This is where it gets tricky because companies are not required to explain where their fragrances come from, what blend of fragrances they are, and what the specific use or purpose of them is. I'm sure there are some places out there like Victoria's Secret that are making everything smell like sprinkled pink cupcakes and unicorns just because they're Victoria's Secret and they want it to smell like a vanilla dumpster fire. But there are other companies like L'Oreal or some other skincare lines that are using these fragrances very, very strategically. And if you've been wondering why they're popping up flipping everywhere, that's why. If you want to see the video on how I cleared my acne partially by taking fragrances and throwing them all away, getting them out of my life and donating them to others, you can watch that video here. And if you're interested in seeing another video on why silicones are in so many products and dimethicone and my thoughts on those, you can watch that one here. I hope you butterflies are having a beautiful day, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.